Washington is waiting, the Philippines is watching, and Alex Eala's biggest match is still unfinished. What was supposed to be a championship Sunday became a battle against the weather, but today the story continues. Jessica Pegula leads 6-4 after taking the opening set. Alex Eala is ahead 2-1 in the second, and when these two players walk back onto the court, there will be absolutely no warm-up period emotionally. From the very first point, the pressure will be massive. For Alex Eala, this is much bigger than simply finishing a tennis match. She is still chasing the biggest championship moment of her career. One comeback could turn this rain-delayed Washington final into a night Filipino tennis fans remember for years. But standing across the net is Jessica Pegula, one of the toughest hard-court players in the world. She already has the advantage on the scoreboard. She already owns the first set. And she has the experience to understand exactly what Alex will try to do when play resumes. That is what makes this restart so fascinating. Sunday was supposed to provide all the answers. Instead, Washington delivered thunderstorms, delays and hours of uncertainty. The final was pushed back before the players finally made it onto court. Once the match started, Pegula settled into the occasion faster. She took the opening set 6-4. For Eala, that was the first warning. At this level, Pegula does not usually give opponents many free opportunities. She takes the ball early, redirects pace extremely well and can make a player feel rushed without appearing to play recklessly. But Alex did not disappear. The second set began, and suddenly the energy started changing. Eala moved ahead 2-1. It was still early, but that score mattered because Alex was beginning to establish a foothold in the match. Then came the rain. Again. The players were forced off the court, the crowd waited, the organizers waited, and eventually it became clear that the final would not be completed that day. For fans, the suspension was frustrating. For Alex Eala, it may have created something much more interesting, a reset. When a player loses the first set in a major final, the match can begin moving very quickly. There is almost no time to mentally recover. Pegula could have kept applying pressure, and one difficult service game might have pushed Alex dangerously close to defeat. Instead, everything stopped. Alex now has time to think. Time to study what worked. Time to understand why Pegula was able to control important moments in that opening set. And time to walk back onto the court with a completely different mindset. The first 10 minutes today could tell us everything. Eala needs to start aggressively, but aggression does not mean simply hitting every ball harder. Against Pegula, careless power can become an invitation. Jessica is excellent at absorbing pace and redirecting it. Alex needs controlled aggression. She needs depth on her ground strokes. She needs to keep Pegula moving. And whenever she gets a look at a second serve, she has to make Jessica feel pressure immediately. The goal should be simple: do not allow Pegula to comfortably rebuild the rhythm she had before the rain. Because Pegula also faces a challenge. Yes, she is leading. Yes, she won the first set. But that rhythm is gone now. She has had to leave the court, recover, sleep, wake up and prepare to restart a championship match from the middle. That is unusual. One poor service game can completely change the atmosphere. Imagine Alex attacking from the very first return game. She gets to 30 all. Pegula misses a first serve. Suddenly there is a breakpoint opportunity. Now the crowd starts reacting. Filipino supporters get louder. Pegula begins feeling that the player she controlled in the first set has returned with a completely different level of belief. And if Eala can grab the second set, then we have a totally different final. Then it becomes one set for everything. That is the opportunity sitting in front of Alex today. But this is where she also has to control her emotions. She cannot walk onto court thinking, "I am one set away from history." She cannot be thinking about lifting the trophy. She cannot think about headlines in Manila, celebrations in the Philippines, or what this victory could mean for her ranking and career. Those thoughts can wait. Her world needs to become much smaller. 1 point. 1 return. 1 serve. 1 rally. That is it. The moment young players start playing the occasion instead of playing the opponent, their game can tighten up. The arm becomes heavier. Simple shots suddenly feel complicated. Eala's greatest weapon today may not be her forehand, backhand, or movement. It may be her ability to stay fearless. Because there is also an important psychological difference between the two players. Pegula is expected to win. Alex is trying to create the upset. That means pressure can change sides very quickly. If Pegula closes this match efficiently, she will have done what the favorite was expected to do. But if Eala starts gaining momentum, Jessica suddenly becomes the player trying to prevent a comeback. That is when a final can become uncomfortable. Every crowd reaction sounds louder. Every missed forehand feels bigger. Every break point becomes more dramatic. And Alex has already shown that she is not afraid of big names. That belief matters. She does not need to overpower Jessica Pegula on every single point. She needs to make her uncomfortable, extend rallies when necessary, attack when the opportunity appears and force Pegula to earn every game. Watch Eala's return position carefully. Watch whether she steps inside the baseline against second serves. Watch whether she changes direction early in rallies instead of simply hitting cross-court exchanges. And especially watch her movement. When Alex is confident, she does not look like someone surviving points. She looks like someone creating them. That is the version of Eala Filipino fans need to see today. And those fans will be there emotionally every step of the way. Some will be watching from Washington with Philippine flags in their hands. Others will be watching from Manila, Cebu, Davao, and across the country. Filipinos overseas will be checking phones, live streams, and score updates. Because this is no longer just another WTA match. For Filipino tennis supporters, this has become a moment of possibility. A young Filipina is standing across from one of the best players in the world with a major title still within reach. And she has not been eliminated. She has not been beaten. The match is simply unfinished. That distinction matters. Pegula currently has the advantage, and pretending otherwise would make no sense. She took the opening set, and Alex still has to turn this match around. But comebacks are built from exactly these situations. Not when everything is easy. Not when you are already ahead. They are built when the scoreboard says you are behind and you have to decide whether you still believe. Today we find out what Alex Eala believes. When the players return to court, Pegula will want to send one message immediately: nothing has changed. Alex will want to send the opposite message. Everything has changed. The rain stopped the match, but it also separated yesterday's momentum from today's opportunity. Now the question is whether Alex can take advantage. Can she protect her early second set position? Can she create pressure on Pegula's serve? Can she force a deciding set? And if she does, can she stay calm when the biggest trophy of her career suddenly feels close enough to touch? Washington is about to find out. For Jessica Pegula, this is about finishing the job. For Alex Eala, this is about refusing to let the story end the way it started. And if she somehow turns a 6-4 opening set loss into a championship comeback, the rain delay will no longer be remembered as the night that stopped the final. It will be remembered as the moment that gave Alex Eala one more chance to change history. The court is ready. Pegula has the lead. Alex has the opportunity. And today, the DC Open final finally continues. Can Alex Eala complete the comeback? Or will Jessica Pegula shut the door? Now there is only one thing left to do. Play.